In this fun lesson, we'll be creating these fun Scandi gnomes with air-dried clay, and then we'll be embellishing them. The gnomes take about 15 minutes each to make, and the same time to paint, and they are easy enough for anyone to make. So let's get into it. If you'd like to make 3 gnomes, you'll need 3 250 gram blocks of white clay, a knife to cut the clay, and we're using a palette knife for that, and a small round brush for smoothing the clay. To embellish our gnomes, we'll be using Imitation gold leaf. Size, this is used to apply the leaf. A 12-piece acrylic paint pen set, and these have the fine nibs. For paint, we'll be using sap green, titanium white, black, all in acrylic colour, and some yellow pink in Satin series. We'll also need a palette to hold our paint and size. You can find this exploded view on our website that will help you make it easier to create. To create the gnome, first we have to carefully remove the clay from the packaging and create a cone shape by rolling it in our hands. Once the cone shape has been created, we cut approximately 4 centimeters off the bottom of the thick part of the cone shape and place it on the base of the board and twist the end to a point. We have used a Mont Easy Clean palette, but a dinner plate would work as a base also. Next, create a ball about 1.5 centimeters. Create a hollow in it and press it onto the top of the hat, and then blend the ball onto the hat. To create the beard, roll out an elliptical shape, approximately 4 centimeters across, and wide enough to wrap around the base of the cone. Blend the edges into the cone and create some texture in vertical lines down the beard shape with the end of the brush. I then soften the texture with water and create thin grooves with the tip of the palette knife. To make the beard a little rounder, we can use the palette knife to cut a small wedge out of each side of the base. We have made little boots for our gnome, and these can be easily created by rolling up 2 balls and pressing them into the hollows we just created. For the nose, we roll up another ball and press that onto the top of the beard. And then we roll a long tube of clay. Flatten it out and wrap it around the cone like this, making sure it sits above the nose. Smooth the join where they meet at the back of the gnome. And that's a pretty cute little Scandi gnome. If we are wanting to paint our little gnomes, we obviously need to let them dry. This can take up to 3 days. We decided to create 3 different gnomes. So for the first, we paint the hat in with sap green acrylic colour. While that is drying, we coat the second hat with leafing size. Allow this to dry. Apply the gold leaf to the sized area. Using a soft brush, we then remove the waste leaf. While you're here, take a look around the Create section on our website and uncover a whole heap of free stuff, from free projects, handy tips and tricks, and techniques to keep you busy. We then coat the last hat with titanium white to seal the clay, as we're going to apply multiple colours using the acrylic paint markers. While we have the white out, we paint the pom-poms on the top of the hat as well as the band over the gold hat. To paint our gnome's beard, we create a grey from titanium white and a touch of black, and cover the whole beard area on each gnome. Once this is dry, we can dry brush over some white. The best way to do this is to only put a little bit of paint onto the brush and use horizontal strokes so that the paint does not settle in the hollows. We then paint black onto the boots of the gnome with the green hat. Next we paint the last hat with a band of yellow at the top, then a band of orange, a band of red, and lastly purple. We're using the fine acrylic markers here because we'll also be using the white to detail the green hat, but Mont also create acrylic markers with a broad tip and they will cover faster. We decided to paint our friend's boots red while we were at it. While we have the acrylic paint pens out, we can add some asterisk stars with white onto the green hat. The last step is to paint our gnome's noses. For this, we use some yellow pink. And voila! Well, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this project. Otherwise, have fun, keep creating, and we'll see you on the next one.